What's going on, everybody? This is a Talking Disaster, and I'm John O'Brien. Of course, Week 5 in the NFL just wrapped up, and if you were paying any attention, if you were, we went 9-5-1. So that is 2 weeks in a row with a winning record by at least 4 games. Whew. Yeah, so we're on fire. Hopefully we can keep it up this week. But before we get into the NFL, shout out to my Pittsburgh Penguins for beating the defending back-to-back Stanley Cup champions on home ice, banner-raising night. And the Pittsburgh Penguins went in there without Jake Gensel, without Evgeny Malkin, without Sidney Crosby, and beat the rails off of Tampa. It was actually closer than what the scoreboard presents itself as, because the Penguins did have 3 empty net goals. So credit to Brian Boyle, who for that night was tied in the league leading for goal scorers, at least after that game, I believe. Not anymore. I think Ovi took the spot last night with 2 goals. And I'd also like to give a shout out to now the NHL is on ESPN and TNT now. For those not following, they used to oh, excuse me, that was gross. For those not following, the NHL is now on ESPN and TNT instead of NBC and NBCSN. And with ESPN, I'm a little iffy, but the TNT broadcast, what I watched last night, I'm completely sold. TNT is going to be great for the NHL because TNT treats, and Turner Sports treats their sports just as big as their biggest one, and that's the NBA. And they made that very obvious with the set they had for the show, the people they had on the show. They have Wayne Gretzky on their show. That is like if the NBA on TNT had Michael Jordan on their show to talk about basketball. They had Charles Barkley on the set last night. He was stopping pucks from Wayne Gretzky. It was great. Paul Bissonnette is great too. Rick Tocchet, Anson Carter. They're all great. And Liam McHugh, I think, is the GOAT when it comes to hosting one of those shows. I take that back. Ernie Johnson's the GOAT. But he's definitely one of the best, and he's definitely the best in the NHL. And I do believe the NHL on TNT has the best broadcasting thing. They have Edzo and Kenny Albert. Those are the 2 most professional hockey announcers that they have. ESPN does have Ray Ferraro, which is fine, and Ray Ferraro is great at it. But TNT also has Darren Pang, who I love too. So I think the NHL and TNT is going to work very well, and TNT is going to treat it just like they did with March Madness. They will treat that sport with respect, which is a great thing for hockey. But I don't want to make this a rivalry, because the growth of hockey, which is very important to me, and more important to me by a million than the growth of the NFL, because I couldn't care less about that, because it'll grow on its own. I don't have to worry about that. I don't have to worry about but the growth of hockey is important to me, because if it doesn't grow, then we just stay in that same spot, and it'll probably get worse. And what NBC did with the sport was kind of bury it. No Stanley Cup final game should be on a TV channel that some people might not have. That's ridiculous. Nobody wants to watch NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt except my grandma, okay? And I don't think she even watches that. Both of them. I don't think either of my grandmas watch that. So I don't know who watches that. If you're watching the YouTube one, I just did a podcast and I had it on my ears. And right now I don't like hearing myself talk that much. And I hear it through the mic, and it just makes me uncomfortable. So I'm going to take them off. But when it comes to that, but here's the thing about ESPN and why I'm already preferring TNT style. ESPN, they did have a serious situation to talk about with John Gruden. I understand that. But they just completely took off Sidney Crosby's interview. And that's so stupid for me to be mad about. But you have the best player in the world in hockey, arguably, and you just take out the 2-minute interview just like that. And I have a feeling that if that continues, if that type of treatment continues, then the NHL might be in trouble when it comes to ESPN. Because here's the thing with ESPN, and this might happen with TNT. I don't know. The NHL and the NBA's postseason comes on at around the same time. The NHL will be sooner because the season started sooner. I don't know if ESPN will make the broadcast decisions to highlight the NHL. Obviously, business reasons, they shouldn't. It makes sense. But I don't think that is necessary when you're talking about the growth of hockey. And if you want hockey to grow, you have to give it the chance it deserves. That's enough of hockey. So let's get into the NFL real quick. Top 10 teams in the NFL after week 5. Number 10 might surprise you. I have the Cincinnati Bengals at number 10. They're 3-2 and should have beat the Packers at least 4 times. And the Cincinnati Bengals, what was I going to say? I just completely froze. I'm sorry. The Bengals have just impressed me, and that was a pretty impressive game against Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. That's all I really had to say. Number 9, another AFC North team, Cleveland Browns. Baker showed pretty good progress against the Chargers, and the Chargers are one of the best teams in the league. And I think if that continues, and if they have a really good performance against the Cardinals, even if they lose, they might climb higher in this ranking. Number 8, you have the Baltimore Ravens. Lamar is looking like an MVP candidate. Easily one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL this year from performance, just performance-wise, through the first 5 games. But you are also losing 22-3 against the Colts at home. So that makes me put you at 8 for now. Number 7, the LA Rams. The Rams, let's see here. What happened with the Rams? Rams. Oh, Rams beat the Seahawks in Seattle on Thursday night. That was like forever ago, so I almost completely forgot about it. But the Rams looked pretty impressive when Russ was in the game. They kind of fell a little bit when Geno Smith got into the game, which was strange. So that's why I have them at 7. Number 6, the Green Bay Packers. Like I said, Cincinnati had a really good game against them, but I don't think the Packers should have that type of game against Cincinnati. Just my opinion, and I think the Packers could climb higher, and I still think they're one of the best teams in the NFC, so I got them at 6. Number 5, the Dallas Cowboys, who continue to just light up the scoreboard with that offense and with Dak Prescott leading it, which is not surprising, which is what we all kind of thought, but their defense has actually played pretty well. So good for them. They're at number 5. Number 4, you got the LA Chargers. Chargers are one of the best teams in the league right now, but I just think the 3 teams in front of them are better. Justin Herbert is a superstar, and anyone with eyes can see that. Number 3, we have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Bucs, there's nothing else to say about the Bucs. I don't think the Bucs need explanation. Tom Brady is looking like he's 28, and that defense was pretty good last week. Number 2, you have the Arizona Cardinals, the only undefeated team left in the league. Like I said last week, this list is not about records. I do not care about that, but I have to acknowledge how impressive the Cardinals are. The Cardinals did have a pretty sloppy game offensively against the Niners, but the Niners had a pretty good game plan, and the Cardinals defense played great. So the Cardinals are at number 2. At number 1, we have the Buffalo Bills, who win to Kansas City. I picked the Chiefs to win, and I was at the game, and the Bills just completely, from about midway through the first quarter, kept that crowd completely dead silent the entire time. And it was one of the most impressive games I've ever seen in person, maybe the most impressive game I've ever seen in person. I don't even know what Patrick Mahomes actually looks like in person. I do know what Josh Allen does now, because Josh Allen had a terrific game. The defense was great. Key turnovers when it mattered. And the Bills, I believe, are the best team in the league right now. So you can argue that if you care enough. I don't. But I think the Bills are the best team in the league, and I still can't explain their loss to the Steelers, but it's whatever. And I still think if they played the Steelers now, it might have a little different outcome. So let's get into this week's games for week 6. We have the Buccaneers and the Eagles playing tonight. Eagles +7. Give me the Bucs. I like the Bucs there. I like the Bucs to go into Philadelphia. The Eagles had a pretty impressive comeback win against the Panthers, and I like the Bucs to cover here, though. I don't like Jalen against this experienced defense, and I love Tom Brady against that defense. That's basically what it comes down to. Let's go into Sunday's games. We're back in London, and it's about time the Jaguars had their game in London this year, which is why I like them to win in London for their first win of the season. And Trevor Lawrence and Urban Meyer's first ever wins in the NFL will come against the Miami Dolphins this Sunday morning. The Jaguars always, for some reason in London, I think, just kind of go off. It's kind of their home. It's kind of a home game for them. I don't know if the people in London like watching the Jaguars. I personally don't, and I probably won't watch this game, but I like the Jaguars +3. Jaguars +3 to cover and to win. I think this is the best game of the weekend. Chargers, Ravens. Chargers going into Baltimore might be a tough task for Justin Herbert, but I do like them to cover at +2.5. I like the Chargers probably to win, and I think Lamar will have another impressive game, but this might be similar to what happened last week with LA and the Browns. I like the Chargers to win this one. Vikings, Panthers +1. Panthers have been on a little losing streak here, and I like them to regain their confidence and beat the Vikings, and basically a pick 'em. Packers, Bears +5. Give me the Packers to cover and win, obviously. Justin Fields' first test against Aaron Rodgers. I like Aaron Rodgers to win that one. Bengals, Lions +3.5. I like the Bengals to win and cover here. Nothing else needs to be explained. They impressed me last week, and I think they'll beat the Lions, and the Lions will move to 0-6. But it's kind of sketchy because the Lions have been playing well. They fight hard. But I do like the Bengals to win. Texans, Colts +10. Wait, that's not right. It has to be -10, right? That's not okay. -10. Sorry, I was gonna say no way you give Mills 10 points. That's free money, folks. But no disrespect to Davis Mills anything because he proved me wrong last week with the Pats. But I like the Colts to get their second win of the season against the Texans, and I like them to do it pretty well. I can't bet on Mills to have 2 back-to-back 300-yard passing games because I don't think that's possible. Rams, Giants +9.5. I like the Rams to cover here. And the Giants have some questions that need to be answered. And I don't know what it is. Their injuries just keep piling up. And I like the Rams to win and cover. 9.5 points, so that's a lot of points. Chiefs, Washington. Washington's been in the news a lot recently. Same with Las Vegas and some other people in the NFL that I'll get to shortly when we get to the Raiders. Let's see here. Chiefs, Washington +6.5 for Washington. Washington, this is kind of a big game for the Chiefs. They need to just stop Washington here. If they don't, I think they're in trouble with just themselves, just in their confidence. Patrick Mahomes needs to have a big game. Kelsey needs a big game. Hill needs a big game. They did lose Clyde Edwards-Helaire. He's on IR now, and that might be tough, but they don't really run the ball anyway. We know that. So I like the Chiefs to cover and to win, obviously. So Chiefs -6.5. Give me the Chiefs. Cardinals, Browns -3. This is also a pretty big game, pretty interesting game. Browns -3. I like the Cardinals to go in and win. I don't know if it'll be close or not. I would say it would be close, But the way the Cardinals are playing, I like the Cardinals to go into Cleveland and beat the Browns. So let's get into the Raiders-Broncos situation. The Broncos have nothing to do with this. I'm sorry I said their name. Broncos -3.5 will get this out of the way. I like the Broncos to bounce back and cover after their loss to the Pittsburgh Steelers last week. With the Raiders, I'm sure everyone listening to this knows John Gruden resigned or was let go. I don't know. I don't know what actually happened. I think they said he resigned, but he was going to be let go either way. What he did was inexcusable and awful, and the rest of my thoughts align with the head coach of the Chargers, which is Brandon Staley. There's a video of his, it was a press conference, him talking about the situation. And if you haven't listened to it, look it up on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, whatever. It's worth the listen. That's what I'm going to say about that. And we're moving on. Cowboys going into New England to play the Patriots. Patriots +3.5. I like the Cowboys. The Cowboys are the only team that is undefeated against the spread. I'd like that to continue. Cowboys -3.5. They're going to cover. They're going to win in Foxborough. Before I say this next one, as a Steelers fan, I would like to sincerely apologize to the rest of the NFL and fans of football that they have to watch Geno Smith face this Pittsburgh Steelers offense on Sunday Night Football. I'm sorry. I apologize. Steelers -5. Give me the Steelers to win and cover. Monday night game's pretty interesting. Bills and Titans. Titans, I'm still not completely sold on. I told you guys I had my issues with the Titans. I like the Bills to win this, though, and I like the Bills to cover. So Bills -5.5. Give me the Bills to win. Yeah, so those are my picks for Week 6. Let's try to continue this streak we're going on. So here's just a little rundown of what we got so far. Week 1, 7-9. Not great. Week 2, 10-6. Week 3, 7-9 again. Week 4, 10-6. And then last week, 9-5-1. So that is 3 weeks. We were over 500 by 4 games. That is the best I have ever done by far when it comes to this. So I'm really happy about that. But did I even count it right? Because that would be... Oh, I'm missing a game. What happened? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh boy. I think I might have to change this record break. Hold up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, 6-1. No. I should have known my math was off. Dang it. 9-6-1, guys. Shouldn't have picked the Pats to cover. Mills? Really? 9 points? It's disappointing. I let you guys down. I'm sorry. Some other things to look forward to tonight. Giants-Dodgers. Game 5. I just heard something. I'm sorry. Giants-Dodgers game 5 of the NLDS series. It's been a pretty good series to watch so far. I've been pretty much wrong about every series so far, I think. Yeah, no, I've been wrong about 2, right about 1. Red Sox beating the Rays. I picked that right. That's about it. So hopefully the Dodgers can redeem me so I can at least go 500 in the division series. But if you're a fan of baseball, check that out. And that's it. That's Week 6 predictions, top 10 NFL teams. And I will see you guys next week. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. As always, have a great day.